Hello everybody, and welcome back to Stories, Treasures, and Tea. So glad to have you here. Very, very grateful for new subscribers and comments that you all made. And some of the comments were things that helped me because, as you know, I have a new puppy, and I asked for any tips and helpful suggestions you might have. And one subscriber, she told me a number of good tips that really I have tried to put into effect with our little puppy. And one of the things was to have on hand charcoal tablets, because if they swallow something bad, that's a good thing to absorb any poisons and things like that. Many, many tips that I really appreciated. And also, this subscriber suggested Caesar, the dog whisperer, and I have looked at a couple of his YouTubes and will continue to look at them because I need as much help in that area as I can. What she does now is she gets so excited to arrive home, or if I arrive home, she's so excited she nips and bites. And it's not in anger, it's just excitability. And the other thing she does is she barks at other dogs, extremely so. So we're trying to work on that, and we're going to watch Caesar more and see what we can do. So thank you very much for that. I'm always welcoming different comments about whatever topics we, should talk about in the videos. The next thing I want to talk about is treasures. As you know, I go to thrift shops, but before I even got to the thrift shop this week, I have an item that my daughter did, and this is a piece of art that she did. She's not too crazy about it, but I think it's beautiful. I love it. I have like a 2-bedroom, really, condo townhouse that I live in, and the one, it's like a spare bedroom den. So in that room, I have yellows, which I'll talk about, and I thought this would just look beautiful in there. And then when I went to the thrift shop this week, I found this that I thought would look beautiful with the artwork that Heather made for me, because I like the birds. I love birds, and I'm trying to bring the outdoors in. So that was a nice find. And also at the thrift shop this week for my den, I got this jug with beautiful lemons on it. Hope you can see that. I just love that. I couldn't resist that. So they were my finds, and honestly, I think that the jug was $3.99, the picture $4.99. So talk about decor on a dime. I know that that is something that can be done. So I want to talk about yellow. Never underestimate the color yellow. I painted my den yellow. Well, I didn't paint it. I had it painted by a friend. And my one friend that went in there, she said, this is like your happy place. It really is. There are windows there, and the sunshine, when it's shining, shines right in that room, and there's natural light. It really is a happy space, because the power of yellow, some will say that it does encourage happiness. And also I read that yellow can also spur creativity, and it can also help your memory. So I don't know how much of that is absolutely true, but it's possible. I'm convinced that it's possible. So also last week, I think we talked about the flower hack, and we talked about if you get a bouquet of flowers and they're all different, it's a mix, you can divide them up and maybe have all the reds and all the pinks and all the yellows in different containers so you can spread them throughout your house and then you have more flowers. So the other thing that I do with that is, I've often done this, I like to do potpourri. I don't know if potpourri is so fashionable anymore, but I still like to do it. And what I do, I dry the petals when, you know, they've come to their peak and it's past the peak. I dry them, I just put them maybe on a paper towel. I put them under my kitchen cabinets because I have an under cabinet light there. And I just leave them for maybe a week. Maybe I move them around a little bit. And then when they're nice and dry, I put them in like maybe a sandwich bag or a bigger freezer bag that's plastic. And in there I might put essential oils, so just a drop or two, maybe 3. Shake it around a bit, shake it around, and then leave it for a couple of days. Maybe put another couple of drops in and shake it all around. With roses, it's nice because they do keep a little bit of their scent. So I like to do the potpourri. I think it brings a nice delicate scent to the house. So the other thing I want to talk about, of course, today is tea. I want to talk about my tea, which today I've got this beautiful yellow cup. I'm going to try to show you. The inside has a beautiful pattern too, but I have my tea in there, so I won't tip that. And I just got a chamomile tea today. It's like a pure chamomile that is on our website. tealmo.ca, and I just chose a chamomile because it was kind of a yellow theme today, and chamomile flowers, once they're dried, are yellow. So I just have a chamomile tea. Very nice. I wonder if you ever drink chamomile. Let me know in the comments if you can, or what kind of teas you like to drink. And speaking of comments and subscribers, which I welcome and am so pleased to have, I saw this guy on YouTube that was talking about what does it mean when I subscribe to a YouTube channel. And he said what it simply means is that you're making that channel one of your favorites. That's how he described it. So I thought that was a good way to describe it. So I want to talk about now, I had a couple of comments about my hair. So I want to talk about my hair. Just that during COVID times when we could not get our hair done for months, that is when I decided to embrace the silver. And I know some people say, oh, you let your hair go gray. And I said that too, but then I read this book that talked about embracing the silver, and I thought that's more positive phrase to use, so that's what I use now. And this book, it's probably backwards, no, maybe not. Anyway, it's called Silver Hair, a Handbook. So this had a lot of good suggestions, and I really enjoyed looking through that book while I was doing this transition. And I would say, for those of you who are considering it, it took me about 18 months. I got a couple of trims. I guess it depends on how much you get your hair cut. It depends on how fast your hair grows, but I would say on average maybe a year to 18 months. And I know I belong to this group that is called Growing Gray Gracefully. It's a Facebook group, and there were a few women that buzzed their hair as it grew in. I could not do that extreme, but I admired that they did that. So it's been quite a journey. There were moments where I thought, oh, I don't know if I can handle this much longer, because I had very dark hair. So anyway, I did it. I like it. I'm glad I did. It saves me money. It saves me time, and it's pretty good. Like, I worried about, was my skin too pale for the gray? I think everybody's hair goes gray differently, and it's natural, so it will naturally match your skin tone, I believe. I think so. So that's a little bit about my hair. Because yesterday was Valentine's Day, and we were talking about love and joy, I read this quote from this gentleman that I'm going to read to you. And he said this, talking about love. Because we have been talking about the end of relationships, and I have shared some of mine, things that happened to me and things I went through, and I will talk about more of that too. But he's talking about healing, and what he said was this: fall in love with the process of healing. Every time you let go of some pain and introduce some happiness, celebrate it. Smile about it. When you feel yourself growing and transforming, stay present and truly fall in love with your growth. Healing is such a beautiful journey. And that's very true. Healing is a beautiful journey. This guy's name is Sylvester McNutt III. That's quite an interesting name. I understand he's got quite a few books that I haven't read, but I'm going to look him up. So that was just a little thought on healing. So next week, I hope you'll join me. We'll have Lilibet here. She's asleep right now, so I'm not going to disturb her. So hopefully next week we can have her. Send me any comments that you have. Tell me about the teas you drink. Tell me about your journey. If you've had some pain or going through the end of a relationship, I look forward to it. And until next week, bye-bye.